this council for supporting the rule of law in Arizona. Illegal aliens, the invasion of our country by people who shouldn't be here is very detrimental to our society, very costly to the taxpayers. Washington State incurs between $1.5 and $2 billion every year for illegal aliens. This is not an anti-immigrant issue. My best friends immigrated from Romania. They live here. They stood in line 7 years. And they're as mad as hell because people just stroll across the border and demand rights, demand benefits. Thank you for implementing E-Verify and supporting Arizona. The state of Virginia has just authorized their police to question the immigration status of people that are stopped in routine business. Prince William County in Virginia has had laws almost identical to Arizona in place for 3 years, and it's worked very well. Not one case of profiling has occurred. And a report that just came out in the last couple of days said that the crime in Prince William County has dropped 38% in those 3 years. I want to thank you for standing up to the rule of law and supporting those who do likewise. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, council members. My name is Gary Wyram, and I live nearby in Vancouver. My address is 3601 Southeast 185th Avenue. My zip is 98683. The last name Wyram is an Americanization of a German name. My ancestors came here through Ellis Island legally. So I'm pretty proud of our nation, and I'm pretty proud of you guys and gals. Just want to say thank you for your vote to support our fellow Americans in Arizona who were willing to stand in the gap and say, you know, I want to protect the sovereignty of our nation. So my statement is just that, simply to thank you. And I also want to encourage you, I live in Vancouver, I'm sure you know your colleagues on the city council there, to pick up the phone and encourage them to join in with you. I'd like to see my own city join in passing such a resolution. So thank you and God bless you.
I had to bring my driver's license to make sure I could remember my address. My name is Edwin R. Rick Covington, and my address is 11716 Northeast 49th Street, apartment M2, Vancouver, Washington, 98682. Mr. Mayor and councilors, we, constituents and non-constituents of the Washougal City Council, are here this evening to express our frustration, discontent with, and opposition to the 6th July passage of the resolution encouraging state representatives from the 15th and 18th legislative districts to sponsor and enact a Washington immigration law similar to that of Arizona. The resolution fails to provide sensible solutions to reform our broken immigration system and echoes the call of enforcement-only strategies which do not work and are wrong for Washougal and America. Unfortunately, the resolution has negatively impacted the documented immigrant community, leaving them questioning if they are truly welcome in Washington. Additionally, it has created a wedge of fear between the immigrant communities and local law enforcement, possibly causing these communities to be less likely to report crime due to the prospect of being turned over to immigration. The manner in which the resolution was brought to a vote was not in the interest of the council's constituents, nor did it follow the principle of ethical governance, an issue as volatile as a resolution endorsing the enactment of a law which would negatively impact the entire immigrant population of Washington should have been widely publicized. This was not the case. A counselor is quoted in the 7 July Columbian. When you go out and say, this is what we're going to do, it hypes the issue and you're not able to have a common sense discussion. So we didn't make a big production out of it. Due to the lack of publicity, no one spoke for or against the resolution at the 6 July council meeting. This is politics as usual, not ethical governance. In Woodland, Washington, a similar resolution was defeated due to the opposition of more than 100 immigrants and allies attending their council meeting. The Washougal Council denied their constituents the opportunity to exercise a basic American right, the right to be heard on a subject of critical importance to their community, their state, and their nation. Last Wednesday, U.S. District Judge Susan Bolton issued a preliminary injunction blocking enforcement of key portions of the law. They are the reasonable suspicion provision allowing police to arrest and detain suspected illegal immigrants without a warrant, the provision requiring the carrying of federal immigration documents, and the provision making it illegal for undocumented immigrant day laborers to solicit or perform work. Judge Bolton, upon issuing the injunction, commented that maintaining the status quo was preferable to allowing enforcement of state laws that are likely preempted by federal law. I thank Councilors Colston and Greenlee for voting in opposition to the July resolution. In conclusion, I have a question for the council. How do you tell an undocumented immigrant from a documented one? I have served various immigrant communities for over 15 years, and I still can't tell. I sincerely thank the council for allowing me to speak for all immigrants of our beautiful state. Thank you.
If we could hold for just a moment.
Excuse me.
Mr. Covington, thank you for your comments. I do want to make sure and point out for all of the group here, one of the things I try and always do is make sure that we correct anything that may not be entirely correct in comments so that they're not taken just as they are applied. The statement that the Washougal Council denied this to constituents the opportunity to exercise the basic American right to be heard on the subject of critical importance. This resolution that was passed by the council was discussed at 2 different workshops and a council meeting that was fully attended by the press. We do not control what goes into the press and what they deem to be news and not news to get the word out. I'm not sure, other than hanging banners around town, that there's another way for us to try and get information out on what is the business of this council. In addition to that, there were, I'm fairly certain if we look back across the agendas that are posted into the newspapers, the Columbian and the Post-Record, that those will be listed in there as an item that was listed for the agenda for those evenings as well. So again, I appreciate the comments. I just want to make sure that the audience members on both sides know this was vetted in the normal way that every single item is that goes through this council and through this city. Sir.